Subway.
You are watching live continuing breaking news coverage as Tropical Storm Irma moves right into North Georgia. Take a look at our radar. Metro Atlanta is getting hit with rain and high winds at this hour. Good afternoon. I'm Craig Lucy.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Wendy Corona. Right now, the storm is centered on the Georgia-Florida line with maximum sustained winds right now of 60 miles per hour. And we do have a team of meteorologists tracking Irma for you right now. Our live severe weather Team 2 coverage begins with our chief meteorologist, Glenn Burns, live in Severe Weather Center 2.
Wendy, the rain really tapering off of the northeast Georgia mountains now. You can see a little bit of a clearing from Rabun County westward into Fannin County. But we are noting some heavier rain bands that are now moving through parts of the metro Atlanta area. That's where these yellow colors are showing up. So from Atlanta to the southwest, seeing some locally heavy rainfall. And by the way, this is where we actually see some of those stronger wind gusts as well. So Douglas County, South Fulton, Coweta, Fayette, Clayton County near the airport into the northern part of Troup County, Heard County, and Carroll County. Motion is off to the west here at about 50 miles per hour. So really cranking very fast to the west. Now we've seen some wind gusts that were at the airport at 61 miles per hour on 2 o'clock this afternoon. Around 1 o'clock. Right now, the peak wind gust at the airport is 59, but that seems to be the outlier of all of our North Georgia counties and cities. We're looking at the winds that are gusting to 38 miles per hour in Carrollton, 40 in Griffin, 43 mile per hour wind gusts being reported in Athens, much less in northern Georgia, especially for the mountains. North-northeast wind gust at 17 miles per hour around Blairsville. It doesn't take much in the way of wind. In fact, we see trees falling on a clear sunny day without any wind. So you can imagine with the rain they've already received, and here's the rainfall so far today, anywhere from an inch to about an inch and a half of rain was very common across northern Georgia. That combined with these strong gusty winds is really downing trees onto power lines. We're losing a lot of power across northern Georgia. Last report I had was about 500,000 statewide, mostly in southern Georgia and along the Georgia coast without power, but numerous outages in and around the metro Atlanta area. So that's what we're dealing with now. And here you can certainly see the circulation, but we have this wedge of cool air in place, and that is really a very stable environment across northern Georgia. So these outer rain bands that have been very heavy moving into that wedge and dissipating rather quickly. Meteorologist Brad Nitz is here. He's going to guide you through what you can expect the rest of the evening, hour by hour.
Yeah, so really the worst of it will be here over the next few hours and then improving late this evening and certainly overnight. So outside now, here's a live look from Hartsfield-Jackson where Glenn just showed us those winds gusting over 50 miles an hour. The camera shaking and visibility reduced down close to zero, certainly a quarter of a mile or less there. 61 degrees, so it's this wedge of cool air. Sustained winds of 38 miles an hour. The definition of a tropical storm force wind is sustained of 39 to 73. So we're right on that threshold, certainly with those higher gusts out there. Here's how the winds are going to shape up in the hours ahead. Looking at 4 o'clock, we're going to continue with gusts 50 to 55 miles an hour generally across metro Atlanta and much of North Georgia, gusting closer to the 40-mile-an-hour range in the northwestern part of the state. As we head towards 9 o'clock, we still have some strong gusts, but we'll be looking at those starting to diminish after sunset tonight. 9 p.m. gusts between 45 and 50 miles an hour approximately. And then as we head through this evening after midnight by 1 o'clock, still some gusts 35, 37 miles an hour in northeast Georgia, slightly higher in the mountains, but gusts start to subside as we head towards midnight and beyond across the metro area. And certainly by tomorrow morning will be breezy to start the day tomorrow, but the threat for damaging wind gusts will be coming to an end. Glenn and I will continue to track this. We'll have an update as these wind gusts continue to be reported and coming on in. We'll be back again in another few minutes.
All right, Brad, thank you. Now, make sure to download our Severe Weather Team 2 app so that you can track Tropical Storm Irma as it moves through Georgia. Be sure that you enable the notifications so that we can send you the alerts. I just got one 2 minutes ago. We also told you right here on Channel 2 that Uber is now suspending their operations due to this massive storm.
Of course, safety first. We've been seeing the conditions get a little worse. I just came in from being out reporting, and yeah, it's getting bad. It's picking up out there. The wind and the rain definitely are pelting South Georgia right now.
Yeah, that area really dealing with flooding, some downed trees, as well as down power lines. We want to show you this picture that a viewer sent to us. This is from Brunswick. The viewer said in their email that the river, as you can see right there, they said it turned into an ocean. Their yard, their marsh, underwater. You can see the white caps there forming from the strong winds in Brunswick.
Channel 2's Chris Jose, he continues our live Severe Weather Team 2 coverage from Brunswick. Chris, we can see it behind you really churning.
Yeah, you just showed that picture. This is actually Fancy Bluff Creek. Likely that that same body of water that viewer just emailed to Channel 2 Action News. In the last 30 minutes, we were able to move up the street a little bit closer to the causeway right now. That's it over there. That causeway, of course, leading to St. Simon's Island. I spoke to police about 15 minutes ago. It is still shut down. We haven't even been able to see emergency crews head that way yet. But over here, you can see all this debris that came over from the creek onto the roadway. We've been going up and down this major thoroughfare right here. This is Glen Avenue, and a lot of debris on top of the roadway. Still some flooding. As we've been reporting, the water has receded a little bit. But take a look at this. This is the Lanier Plaza. You can see the cars over there by that Winn-Dixie, also underwater. When I spoke to that police officer, he had mentioned the water here way above the roofs on top of those cars. So they're still urging people to stay inside. Live in Brunswick, Chris Jose, Channel 2 Action News.
It is wild to see those pictures where Chris is. He's moved around a few times, also witnessed a rescue there. And we want to just kind of get back to our coverage here in Metro Atlanta. I was just looking at Brian Monahan's Twitter feed. He is tweeting out pictures of a tree now down at 14th and Juniper. So with these winds picking up here in Metro Atlanta and the rain starting to come down, the ground is getting saturated and the trees are starting to fall.
They are, and of course we want to take a live look right now at Storm Tracker 2 HD radar. This is what we're dealing with right now. Severe Weather Team 2, of course, hard at work tracking Hurricane Irma. Our team of meteorologists are analyzing new data. They will have an updated forecast for us in just a few minutes.
And take a look at this video of a tree that fell on this home in Decatur. This is right on Livingston Place right now. The homeowner did not want to talk on camera, but did tell us that they have damage to their roof and damage to the inside of their home. You can also see that if we have a picture of it, their car is underneath branches, but thankfully we're told no one was hurt. Look at the size of that tree, though, down on this home in Decatur.
And we're going to be seeing more of this, too, as those winds pick up here, especially the gusts that Brad and Glenn were talking about, because as this rain soaks up into the earth, and then you get these gusts, and they just knock it right over.
And emergency officials, they are doing their best to keep as many people off the roads as possible because of these strong winds and the rain.
That's right. Meteorologist Katie Walls, she continues our live Severe Weather Team 2 coverage. She's in Severe Weather Chaser 2. And Katie, right now you are on I-20 westbound in Haralson County. How is it out there?
Right now, we're just dealing with pockets of very heavy rainfall, and those intense wind gusts are helping to shake the truck ever so slightly. Currently, we are about 5 miles away from the Alabama border. You can see, obviously, very wet roadways. We're now approaching the Tallapoosa city limits here. And what I can see along the roadways, we're just dealing with some, some leaves, like very, very small debris on the road. Nothing major just yet here in Haralson, but I can tell you this, the worst is yet to come. If you are hitting the roadway, please take it easy, because not only are we dealing with some ponding, that possibility for hydroplaning, we're also dealing with those gusts. All of a sudden, you might get a 40+ mile/hour gust, and then it moves your vehicle from side to side. You can see it right now shaking a little bit as we veer just slightly to the right because of that, and also other vehicles traveling a bit too fast for my liking, I can tell you that. But all things considered, if you are hitting the roadway, please, please, please take it nice and slow. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're heading back into the West Metro. I'll have a live report for you. For right now, I'm live in Severe Weather Chaser 2, Haralson County. Meteorologist Katie Walls.
Yep, and especially in those high vehicles like Katie was mentioning, those big trucks and, of course, SUVs, they can shift a little easier with those gusts. Now, shelters, they are open in Metro Atlanta. The city of Atlanta opened Central Park Rec Center. That's on Merritt's Avenue. Fulton County opened Jefferson Place Emergency Shelter on Jefferson Street. Day shelters are also open at the Salvation Army, the City of Refuge, and the Peachtree Pine Shelter as well.
Now, emergency workers along Georgia's coast are ready to answer the call for help.
That's right. Police officers, firefighters, and public works staff are staying at their critical workforce shelter in Chatham County. The shelter can withstand Category 5 hurricane winds, and it's also on higher ground. Officials say they plan to move quickly and efficiently to help those in need.
Hitting the streets as fast as we can.
That facility is equipped to house and feed 250 people.
Also have a lot of bunk beds and a full-size kitchen for everybody there. Now, if you are just joining us for this special edition a long edition here of Channel 2 Action News. We've been on since noon, and we will be here for you as long as we need to. We want to mention at the bottom of your screen is a list of the government offices as well as schools that will be closed tomorrow. We did get an email just about 15 minutes or so ago. Fulton County will be shut down, Fulton County Courthouse. So as soon as we get these emails, we will be letting you know. Also, if you're in a safe place, you can certainly tweet us your pictures, send us your pictures on Facebook safely. Use hashtag StormWatchOn2.
Right now, though, let's take a look at a live look here at the radar. This is Storm Tracker 2 HD radar. Severe Weather Team 2 is tracking Irma for us. Our team of meteorologists analyzing new data, and we'll have an updated forecast in just a few minutes from now.
And again, here is a list of the closings and cancellations here. We're going to continue to update you with a list of what will be closed. Several school districts have already canceled classes for tomorrow. As you know, we reported MARTA suspended all bus and rail service today. The express commuter bus service will not run today. We do have a complete list of closings and cancellations. It's all there on our website, WSBTV.com as well. If you have our app, we told you that Uber has now suspended their service. They did that just 11 minutes ago because of the storm. Now, we are getting a look at the powerful storm surges from Irma slamming some of the Florida communities.
Take a look here at this video. This is from Daytona Beach. This morning, intense wind and violent waves flooded the beach. Daytona Beach is in Volusia County, where there are more than 80,000 people there are currently without power. And right now, crews are beginning to go door to door to check on families who weathered Hurricane Irma in their homes along the Florida Keys. Yes, some people did stay. The storm made landfall across Cudjoe Key on Sunday morning. Search teams will also check for damage done by boats that broke free at their docks. A developer will have to work to clear a third crane that collapsed during the storm as it moved across the Miami area. Two other cranes fell near downtown Miami. The third crane was working on a construction project on Fort Lauderdale Beach. Amazingly, no one was hurt.
And Severe Weather Team 2 Chief Meteorologist Katie Walls in Severe the Weather Chaser 2, looking at all this very heavy rain out here southwest of Atlanta. Look what's happening here to the east. The rain is tapering off dramatically now. We'll look at that trend continues with an updated part of the forecast coming up next.
Certainly good news there. Also a live picture of Miami. We are getting a first look at some of the damage there. We have crews all over Metro Atlanta, South Georgia, as well as Central Florida tracking Tropical Storm Irma.
PayPal lets you pay friends back fast, so you can all chip in for gas and start your road trip off right.
Been trying to prepare for this day, and I'm still not ready. The reason I'm telling you this is that there will be moments in your life that you'll never be ready for. Your little girl getting married being one of them.
At Rooms to Go, you can have your customized iSofa in your home in days, not months. The secret? It all starts right here at our factory in Mississippi, where our upholstery is manufactured. And with iSofa, you customize it yourself. Pick your style, pick your color, pick your pillows, and we'll do the rest. We can get you your custom iSofa in days. No waiting, because our sofas are built right here in America. Come check out what's new in my furniture collection, exclusively at Rooms to Go.
A Ram Power Days event.
I'm Levi Hummin. I'm a country singer-songwriter and a truck guy. The best truck you can get is a Ram, and the best place to get a Ram is Landmark. These guys know them better than anybody, and they have more than anybody. That's why they sell more Rams than everybody. Whether I'm on the road to my next gig or just hanging out working on the album, the place I want to be is right here in my Ram. Try one on for yourself. Come on over to Landmark. Always the best deal, always.
The new Steak and Shake Prime Steak Burger. The world's best big burger. That's the sound it makes. A sound steak lovers understand. That's the sound of the perfect blend of beef. 6 ounces of the finest all-natural brisket and chuck. The sound of something so big, you have to put a steak knife in it. The new Prime Steak Burger, only at Steak and Shake.
PayPal lets you set your payment preferences in advance. So when you're ready to check out, you won't have to type in those digits.
You are watching live severe weather. Team 2 breaking news coverage as we continue to track Tropical Storm Irma. This is a live look right now from our high-definition tower cam pointed at Midtown Atlanta. You can see it is gray out there, heavy rain, the camera even shaking a little bit there in all the wind. We do have video now showing the effects of Tropical Storm Irma in Charleston, South Carolina. You can see right there people along the waterfront in Charleston as huge waves pounded and that heavy rain falls there. A storm surge warning is up for that area, and it is best, we say it every single time, best to stay indoors.
Yeah, that is super dangerous right there. Now, our live severe weather Team 2 coverage continues with Channel 2's Richard Elliott.
Richard, Governor Nathan Deal is warning people not to be out in the storm if they don't have to be.
That's exactly right, and that same warning is also coming from GDOT, the Georgia Department of Transportation. I want to show you some video we shot less than an hour ago. We went into the Special Operations Center called the SOC here at GEMA. You can see how busy it is as they monitor that storm as it makes its movement through the state of Georgia. The latest update we've got says that 918,000 customers, that's Georgia Power and local EMCs, 918,000 people across the state are without power right now. We're also getting an update from GDOT saying how bad things are actually getting out on the interstates. Earlier today, I-16, parts of I-16 were closed because of debris in the road. I-16 is back open right now. But just within the past 10-15 minutes, we've learned that there is a tree down at I-85 at Camp Creek Parkway, and a tree also, it looks like on the exit ramp at I-20 at H.E. Holmes. So crews are out there. We saw them when we were over in the Transportation Management Center, which is right next door to GEMA, looked up on the big board and saw video of the trees down and video of GDOT crews already out on the scene trying to get those off the road. Now, GDOT is telling us there's anecdotal evidence right now that some people, some Floridians who had come here had evacuated here, have now gotten back on the roads to try and drive back into Florida. They are being warned, don't do that because of conditions right now in Georgia. There's the problems with gas in South Georgia, power outages in South Georgia, and that the places that they want to drive to right now is not a good place, a safe place for them to be. So they're being told, again, to stay in place. We're going to continue to monitor. We'll give you the latest throughout the day. We are live in Southeast Atlanta. Richard Elliott, Channel 2 Action News.
And Richard is right there in the hub of it all, where a lot of those decisions are being made as to where the attention needs to go. Richard, thank you for that.
We'll certainly be checking in with him. I was just looking at my Twitter feed. Brookhaven Police just tweeted out, we are currently receiving multiple reports of traffic lights going out throughout the city. We urge you to stay indoors and use caution, just as Richard was talking about.
And of course, with those traffic lights out, I know I put it on my Facebook page. The station has it on its Facebook page too. How to treat those intersections. You treat them as a four-way stop. Flashing red, flashing yellow, and of course with the lights out are a four-way stop.
Absolutely.
So be safe out there or just stay indoors. Now, Severe Weather Team 2 is tracking Tropical Storm Irma as it moves into Metro Atlanta.
And Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns is live now at Severe Weather Center 2. And Glenn, you were just talking a few moments ago. The rain's kind of tapering off there in the Athens area.
Quite a bit. In fact, that trend is continuing now toward the Metro Atlanta area, but pointing out a lot of people on the road this afternoon on I-75, especially southbound. And as Richard pointed out, a lot of those people from Florida going back to inspect the damage at their homes. So the interstate southbound is packed across the Atlanta metro area right now, and we're seeing some locally heavy rainfall too, again from Atlanta to the southwest. Here's a look at it on Storm Tracker 2 HD radar, and you can see these outer rain bands in this yellow here coming down through Fulton County into Coweta, Carroll, Haralson County, Heard County, Troup County, Meriwether. And look at these wind gusts here. Now, the airport has been the outlier here, but the winds have been gusting up around 56 miles per hour over the last 45 minutes or so. North-northeast wind gust at 40 in Griffin. The wind gust in Carrollton is about 33 right now and 25 in LaGrange. So I think the winds are actually going to be ramping up here with higher gusts, maybe closer to 60 miles per hour in some areas, but that would be very isolated. Now look at the rain really tapering off from Augusta to Eatonton to Macon now. So this trend of diminishing rain will continue now toward Metro Atlanta. So these are the bands that that produce the intense winds are right here, but we're still going to see some strong gusty winds, but the rain is really tapering off. We're reducing our rainfall estimates across North Georgia to about 2 to 5 inches on the outside right now, again, with the lighter rains tapering off. Now, these are the wind gusts across northern Georgia. Very light for the mountains. Blairsville only at 2 miles per hour, but as we get toward Gainesville and Lake Lanier, the winds are gusting to 45. 52-mile-per-hour wind gusts in and around Athens. Rome, we're looking at a wind gust of 24. And as we head into about Calhoun, 28-mile-per-hour wind gust there. So I think we're going to see sustained winds in that 30 to 40-mile-per-hour range, which is an occasional gust between 50 and 60 miles per hour. Though no more than that, we don't think, at this point in time through the evening hours. We're going to continue to watch this through the newscast. But look at some of the rainfall we've seen already today, anywhere between 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain. So it doesn't take much with this clay. This Georgia clay turns to mush. We've got a lot of dead and dying trees across northern Georgia. And if you look outside and you say, well, my tree is just fine. It's just fine. It's got a lot of leaves on it. Well, the tree dies actually from the inside out. And if you haven't had an arborist come out and check that tree, it may be dead. If you suspect that, you might want to move to the other side of the house because winds will continue to increase throughout the balance of our afternoon through the early part of the evening. We're going to update the forecast as to show you when all that rain tapers off and the wind settles down, coming up in just a few minutes.
Glenn, thank you. We're going to give you a live picture now from South Georgia, where you can see the heavy flooding there in that parking lot. We do have crews all over Metro Atlanta, South Georgia, Central Florida tracking Tropical Storm Irma. We also have an update from the Conyers Police Department saying that more trees threaten to fall on I-20 eastbound between West Avenue and Sigmund Road. They are now turning vehicles around, so counterflow is now in place there. Keep it right here on Channel 2 Action News.
At Channel 2 Action News, we have the tools, the technology, and most importantly, the people to cover the moments happening now. We are Atlanta's biggest news team. People who know the community with decades of experience building connections and sources. People who dig, investigate, and get all the answers for you. It's why we cover local news like no other Atlanta news team. I'm Jovita Moore. Join me and the people of Channel 2 Action News every day. Coverage you can count on.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, then I look at you. It's all right. With me. Just one look at you. And I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
Is this a phone or a little internet machine? It makes you wonder, shouldn't we get our phones and internet from the same company? That's why Xfinity Mobile comes with your internet. You get up to 5 lines of talk and text at no extra cost. So all you pay for is data. See how much you can save. Choose by the gig or unlimited. Xfinity Mobile, a new kind of network designed to save you money. Call, visit, or go to xfinitymobile.com.
Celebrate the exceptional every day with Private Selection. With gourmet ingredients and unique flavors that make the magic in every meal. Private Selection makes every occasion brighter. Transform something to eat into something to savor with Private Selection, exclusively at Kroger.
I got a curb violation. B13 in pursuit.
Uh-oh. Honey, hurry.
Pardon me, ma'am. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me, sir. Sir. Hit the lift gate! Pardon me. Pardon me. Excuse me. Excuse me, sir. Pardon me. Pardon me. Excuse me, ma'am.
Nice work.
The 2017 Toyota RAV4. Get 0% APR for 72 months plus $1,000 APR bonus cash on a 2017 RAV4. Toyota, let's go places.
You are watching our live special coverage of Irma. We can hear it in our Midtown studios. The rain is starting to pour here in Midtown.
It sure is. Right now, let's take a live look at Storm Tracker 2 HD radar. This is the rain, and we were talking with Glenn just moments ago. He says the eye of the storm seems to be heading towards the west, and it'll be interesting to see how that affects us here. Of course, Severe Weather Team 2 hard at work tracking Irma. Our team of meteorologists analyzing every new bit of data that comes in. We will have an updated forecast for you in the next 10 minutes.
And we watch this number grow. Thousands of people are without power here in Georgia. Georgia Power reports more than 5,500 outages. 671,000 customers, though, are affected. Georgia Power now has 3,400 field personnel on standby to get lines back up once this storm finally passes. Now our live severe weather Team 2 coverage continues right now with Channel 2's Jim Strickland, where he's getting wet.
That's right. Jim, power crews are staging and ready where you are there in Spalding County.
Yeah, that's right. I found some of those Georgia Power customers that are out, but I want to start with this street sign. Sunset Drive Extension, and take note on what's on the right-hand side, dead end. And this is why that is an issue. There is a giant pine tree that has cut off not only Sunset Drive, but two other streets down here, Wayne Street and Fawnbrook Circle, I believe it's called, because this tree is completely across the road. Residents cannot get out of here, and just as importantly, any emergency responders cannot get in. The good news is that there has been a sheriff's captain here from Spalding County to assess this situation, so I would suspect that at some point, hopefully relatively soon, there will be a crew here to open up this subdivision. You can see that the power lines have been down. That's why the power is out. We've spoken to some residents, and you'll hear from them in our continuing Storm Team 2 coverage. Reporting live in Spalding County, Griffin, Jim Strickland, Channel 2 Action News.
Be safe. Yeah,
They're stuck
certainly
for now.
be safe out there. Let's go to Glenn.
Right now, looking at the heaviest rain here west and southwest of Metro Atlanta, but really tapering off here across the eastern part of our viewing area. Will that trend continue? And what are the winds you're going to expect tonight? I'll show you next.
And take a live look from Severe Weather Chaser 2. Gives you a view of what the roads are looking like right now. We have crews all over Metro Atlanta, South Georgia, as well as in Florida, tracking Irma.
Hi, folks. Johnny Stivers here for Stivers Decatur Subaru. It's the Subaru A Lot to Love event, and it's going on now at Stivers Subaru in Decatur. Folks, now is the time to take advantage of 0% financing for up to 63 months on remaining 17 Subaru Outbacks. 18s are on the way, and that means now is the time to get that great deal on your new Outback. 0% for up to 63 months rarely happens in the Subaru world. Come out today while selection is still great. This deal will not last. 0% on 17 Outbacks at Stivers Decatur Subaru, where price sells cars.
At Rooms to Go, you can have your customized iSofa in your home in days, not months. The secret? It all starts right here at our factory in Mississippi, where our upholstery is manufactured. And with iSofa, you customize it yourself. Pick your style, pick your color, pick your pillows, and we'll do the rest. We can get you your custom iSofa in days. No waiting, because our sofas are built right here in America. Come check out what's new in my furniture collection, exclusively at Rooms to Go.
You guys are ready! Oh, you guys are ready!
Ticket, please.
Of course, I got it right here.
There's nothing there.
It's loading. It takes a little bit. Just give me like a minute, guys.
Here's the ticket. It's starting. Mine works.
Bob realized he needed unlimited 4G LTE data, so he switched to Metro PCS to get the best unlimited deal in wireless. 2 lines of unlimited 4G LTE data for only $75, period. Plus 2 free 32-gig phones. Enjoy the best unlimited deal in wireless on a reliable 4G LTE network. Metro PCS. Wireless figured out.
Here's a number you can count on from AutoNation. Ready? 20,000. That's the number of AutoNation pre-owned vehicles we have online and at our stores. That's something you can count on. Shop now at AutoNation.com. Meet me.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day.
Some things are just wrong, like women getting ovarian cancer from using baby powder. Study after study confirmed the risk, but Johnson & Johnson did nothing. No product recalls, no warnings, nothing. We can't turn back the clock, but we can hold them accountable. If you've been diagnosed with ovarian cancer, call us at the Women's Tout Project and help make it right.
Back here in severe weather Center 2, we have meteorologist Brad Nitz driving our Storm Tracker 2 HD radar. And the heaviest rain is where meteorologist Katie Walls in Severe Weather Chaser 2 out along I-20 West as we get toward Carroll County. And you can see that area of yellow. That's where we're finding the heaviest rain and also the strongest wind gusts. So these are the wind gusts being reported now. Air report is at 56 miles per hour. They've been the highest in and around the Atlanta area so far, except for Stone Mountain. On the top of Stone Mountain, we did see at 1,700 feet a wind gust of 61 miles per hour. But the winds gusting to 33 in Carrollton, 25 to 32 in LaGrange, and centered around 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts in and around Spalding County around Griffin. And so there's the heavy rainfall continuing to move to the west at about 50. Now, we're looking at something changing now in the forecast here as the rain really tapering off dramatically. The big line of it here ending around Eatonton, Augusta, Macon. That you can see is heading for Metro Atlanta. That's certainly good news. Now, we're still going to see the stronger winds evolve through much of the afternoon and through the early part of the evening, but with much less rain in the forecast, certainly good news for as far as trees going down on power lines. With a little bit less rain, that's not going to loosen the soil as much across the area. Now, I want you to see what we're dealing with as far as rainfall going across northern Georgia, looking at winds gusting anywhere from 40 to 55, 60 miles per hour, and with about 1 to 1.5 inches of rain. That's where we're seeing the clay turn just to mush and these dead and dying trees falling and downing power lines. Now, let's take a look at the wind gust forecast. Not sustained winds now, but a peak wind gust in your area as we get toward 5 o'clock this afternoon. And that could be gusting to 50 in Atlanta, Gainesville, 53-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible, Athens and Eatonton, 48-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Griffin, 41 in Rome, and 43 in Calhoun. As we go through the evening now, the winds continue strong. 48-mile-per-hour wind gusts for Atlanta, 50 in Gainesville, Athens, 32-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Rome, 46, though, picking up in northwestern Georgia up around Calhoun. Now, at 9 o'clock, watch what happens thereafter. A dramatic decrease in the winds from south to north across the area, so that by midnight or shortly thereafter, winds could be gusting to maybe 20, 25 miles per hour. A little stronger in the mountains there, but as we go through the overnight hours, a dramatic decrease in the winds, and that's due to the weakening of the tropical storm, which is now in South Georgia and moving to the northwest. And meteorologist Brad, this is in the command center to guide you more on what is expected with Irma's track through the night.
Yeah, so as the center of Irma now continuing to move generally towards the northwest in the hours ahead, the trend will be for these winds later this evening and tonight to finally start to taper off. So let's take a look now what we're going to be dealing with in the hours ahead. By 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, the last of the breeze is coming to an end. So here's the setup now. We have the center of Tropical Storm Irma down into South Georgia, but as these tropical systems come ashore and the maximum wind speeds start to diminish, the overall wind field expands, so the stronger winds kind of spread out, although the peak winds aren't quite as high. So that's what we've seen last night and today. Tropical storm force winds extending hundreds of miles from that center of circulation. So it no longer is that important where the center is, and we're looking at sustained winds there, 60 gusts to 75, but we've already had those strong gusts over 60 miles an hour in and around Metro Atlanta. So here's the track in the hours ahead, keeping that center to our north and west, as the bands that are coming through now will continue for the next few hours. Had gusts to 61 at Stone Mountain, and at Hartsfield-Jackson, a 62-mile-an-hour wind gust. Berkeley Lake, that's in Gwinnett County. And there's been other gusts around, likely in that 50 to 60-mile-an-hour range. And we're going to see this continuing to pull away. Scattered showers in the forecast for the next few days, but this intense rain and wind is only going to stick around for a few more hours. So here we are, 5 o'clock. We're going to have bands of heavier rain, but continuing its progress towards tapering off and gradually clearing out as we head through this evening and overnight. We'll keep the risk of some scattered showers overnight and early tomorrow morning. But as far as rainfall, as Glenn showed you, 1 to 1.5 inches has already fallen. We'll add a little bit more to that. Rainfall totals I expect going to be a little less than the models had indicated, more like 2 to 3 inches commonly across the area. So flash flooding is something we're watching for, but not really the top level concern. The concern continues to be for those damaging wind gusts. We're looking at 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. That'll be heavy. That's going to bring down trees and power lines additionally. So trees down, power outages still remain the biggest concern for the next few hours. Glenn and I'll have another update in just a few minutes.
And we do have breaking news. Authorities are now reporting the first storm-related death here in Georgia as Irma moves through our state. This occurred in Worth County. That is right in between Albany and Tifton. We are working to learn more about this, and as soon as we get it, we will certainly bring it to you. Now, a South Georgia company is providing shelter to National Guard members deployed to respond to Tropical Storm Irma. Bell Plantation opened this 40,000 square foot warehouse facility down in Tifton. They're providing food and support for nearly 1,000 guardsmen and women. Our live severe weather team 2 coverage continues now with Channel 2's Mark Winning.
That's right. Mark is live in Cobb County where National Guard crews are staging. Mark?
And we are in a hangar at the Clay National Guard Center where helicopters from around the state have been massed, ready to respond to Georgians in need from Tropical Storm Irma. And we have 2 of the pilots with us right now. If you fellas could come in, thank you for what you're doing. Captain Matt Kiss, you will probably be the first pilot out of here poised to respond. What's going on inside your heart and mind right now?
Right now, we are watching the weather very closely and getting ready to respond. As soon as the weather and gets good enough and our limitations are good enough for the aircraft, we will be on our way to help support the Georgia Army National Guard and the people of Georgia.
So what's happening inside right now?
Excited, ready to go. I've got 23 folks and 4 helicopters, and we're ready to do this.
Thank you for what you're doing. We appreciate
you so much.
it. Captain Brandon Long, if you come in. So you're in charge of the maintenance for this fleet, so to speak, but you're also a pilot. What's happening inside you? You ready to go?
Absolutely, I am ready to go. Like you mentioned, I am in charge of the maintenance for this fleet, and so my primary concern is bringing the 15 individuals that I've got coming in to ensure that Captain Kiss can keep his aircraft flying and getting out there to actually support the folks. We are eager and ready to get these aircraft launched and keep them flying so we can get out there and help the folks of Georgia.
Thank you very much. Appreciate what you're doing. Lieutenant Colonel Barry Simmons, you are the task force commander. This is one of the types of helicopters. You got this massive CH-47. It can do a lot of heavy lifting. So let's get down real low here. And this cargo hook under here, what's that for? How might it apply in this situation?
Yes, sir. We're very lucky in the state of Georgia to have some of the most advanced aircraft in the Army, and this is the F-model Chinook. It has a max gross weight of 50,000 pounds. And one of the missions our soldiers will be doing in support of other task force volunteer in the state as a whole, will be using the cargo hook in the event that it's called to put out fires if need be by Bambi buckets or deliver sandbags. All can be done with this aircraft.
One of many missions possible. I know you're ready to go. Thank you very much for your time. Reporting live from Clay National Guard Center, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.
Mark, as you mentioned, we certainly do appreciate all that they're doing for us.
They're the first ones to go in. Mark, thank you for that.
The bands of heavy rain and strong winds continue to circulate through metro Atlanta. Meteorologist Brian Monahan just let me know of an estimated 60 to 70 mile an hour wind gust in Midtown with transformer fires. We'll take you through the latest coming up.
Wow, and a live picture from Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. There's almost zero visibility there. The camera is shaking. You can barely see anything. Our live severe weather team 2 coverage continues from metro Atlanta, South Georgia, and Florida. Keep it right here on air, also online with the Severe Weather Team 2 app and our website, WSBTV.com.
This is no ordinary spray paint. With a precise blade pattern that'll cover any surface, it sprays 360 degrees, featuring a one-of-a-kind patented comfort grip that puts all this innovation within the palm of your hand. It's Rust-Oleum Universal, available in an array of exclusive finishes, including rich metallics, so anybody can transform something boring into something brilliant. Universal Spray Paint. It's brilliant from every angle. Exclusively from Rust-Oleum.
Oh, boy. This gonna be good. Did this just stop on its own?
Yeah.
Is that a touchscreen? Does it have Bluetooth?
All came standard.
Came standard? Wow, that's unbelievable. This guy, he's giving it to him.
You won't believe what Standard can do. Get 0% APR for 72 months on a new 2017 Toyota Corolla. Toyota, let's go places.
After an accident, you don't want to say anything that could be mistakenly used by the insurance company to reduce or deny your valid claim.
That's why you need to speak with a Montlick attorney first.
Before you talk to the insurance company.
Remember, the insurance adjuster's role is to protect the insurance company's interests, not yours.
Call 1-800-LAW-NEED now to speak with a Montlick attorney, or use our 24/7 live online chat at montlick.com. The initial consultation is free, and you pay no fee unless you win.
You put aside some cash in a traditional savings account with a rate that sounded great. But then, after a few months, that promotional rate came crashing down. You and your money deserve better. Take about 5 minutes and open a Capital One savings account right here. You'll get one of the nation's best rates, and it's not a promotional rate. Welcome to Banking Reimagined. What's in your wallet?
In our commitment to education, Channel 2 has partnered with the Atlanta Families Awards for Excellence in Education. Winners are presented with an award that they may use to further educational causes. Channel 2 and the Atlanta Families Awards celebrate a commitment to education.
Is this the world's best sandwich? Nope. Lance's real peanut butter between 2 toasted crackers is the best. Pick up some tasty sandwich crackers from Lance.
And look at this. A viewer sent us this picture after a tree came crashing down on her home. That viewer said the weather did not seem that bad when this tree came down, but it demolished her daughter's bedroom. This is in Upson County, and fortunately, no one was injured.
And if you can, send us those pictures. It's hashtag StormWatchOn2 as Irma continues to work its way across the metro area. We're getting a look at some of the damage that's left behind. A viewer in Gainesville sent us these pictures of several limbs that came down outside the home there and ripped off part of what appears to be the gutter.
And another large tree toppled down. This is in Decatur. A viewer sent us this shot from Winona Park, that area around Winona Park. You can see, look at the size right there of that root system. It is huge. Again, as Wendy mentioned, make sure that you can safely send us your pictures at hashtag StormWatchOn2. We're checking them out on Twitter and Facebook.
And of course, we do have reporters fanned all over. Right now, we want to check in with our live severe weather Team 2 coverage with Mike Pachenik joining us now from North Fulton County. Mike?
And Wendy, I've got my Twitter feed open to a number of agencies here in the North Metro, and really it feels like a game of whack-a-mole. 1 second we'll see a report of a tree down on a house. The next we'll see a report of a tree on power lines. That is the case here across Hammond Drive, a very busy artery through the midsection of Sandy Springs. You can see the tree precariously dangling on top of the power lines here. This road is now shut down between Georgia 400 and Peachtree Dunwoody Road, right in front of the King and Queen Tower. And you see those power crews stationed out there at the ready when the conditions improve so they can get the power back on here and get that tree off those lines. I talked to a gentleman who works for one of the tree crews that is out today about the unique set of circumstances they're dealing with in this storm and these very high sustained winds.
So we have to hold off until everything is clear for life safety wise for our guys to get in here and do this job safely.
So they can't get out here until this rain and wind stops. We're going to keep tabs on the situation and have live reports for you throughout the afternoon. For now, we're live in Sandy Springs. I'm Mike Pachenik, Channel 2 Action News.
Winds gusting over 50 miles an hour at times now. Your hour-by-hour forecast and how long this takes to diminish late this evening coming up.
Channel 2's Glenn Burns is Atlanta's chief meteorologist. As a weather scientist, he's assembled the most cutting-edge tools and scours the country for the newest advancements. As a proven leader, he's put together the most reliable team of meteorologists in the business. He has called it right when lives are on the line.
I just want to keep your family safe.
He is Atlanta's chief meteorologist, only on Channel 2 Action News. Severe weather coverage you can count on.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
It's Ford SUV season, and Ford is putting up some very impressive numbers. Here's another impressive number, 4,350. That's the total cash back you can now get on select Ford SUVs. The unstoppable Explorer, the adventurous Ford Escape, and the smart, stylish Ford Edge. Don't miss the impressive numbers during Ford's SUV season. Now, get up to $4,350 total cash back on select 2017 Ford SUVs. See your local Ford dealer today.
You know, having a baby and having a 3-year-old, we're hoping to get a little guidance so we can save for a house. Working with somebody at the bank is going to be different. So Maurice was great with going over our everyday finances. He definitely helped me see how we can save and pay off our debt at the same time and why we would want to do that. I'm so ready to take our next step.
Ready to move your life forward? Visit regions.com/nextstep.
Health is having the freedom to do what you want to do with your life every single day. So at Aetna, we promise to keep finding new ways to join you so nothing gets in your way. Because no matter where it is you're going or whatever stage of life you're in, we believe that when it comes to health, you don't join us, we join you.
This is new video just into our newsroom from Channel 2 reporter Aaron Diamond. It's pretty incredible. Check this out. You can see a man with a pickup truck. He pulls a downed tree out of an intersection. This is in a neighborhood in Midtown. He did this so that a fire truck could get through. This is, awesome. You know, everyone just pitching in and helping where they safely can. If you can, send us your weather pictures, send us your video, use the hashtag StormWatchOn2. It's a good man right there, allowing for first responders to get through.
It's nice to see this going on here in Georgia now. There's also been some strong wind in the Noonan area. A viewer sent us this video on Twitter, and take a look at these trees just whipping back and forth and the strong winds out there. 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts will continue this afternoon with Irma, and we are tracking the storm's every move.
Sure are. So is meteorologist Brad Nitz live in Severe Weather Center 2.
So widespread rain, heavy at times, but it's not just the rainfall rate that makes it seem so heavy, but it's the driving force of the wind blowing that rain around. So we do have some heavy rain tapering off, but the wind's still gusty out around Eatonton, and some of the heaviest downpours now in the West Metro. Winds have been gusting 50, 60 miles an hour in Atlanta. We're continuing with gusts nearly 50 right now. You can see it down towards Griffin, about 40 mile an hour wind gusts, and close to 40 in Carrollton. LaGrange gusting right now to about 25 miles an hour. The rain tapering off from Macon to Eatonton, across the lake country out towards Augusta, but the wind's still up in that area, and these heavy rain bands will continue to cycle on through. Rainfall total so far been about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So as we're seeing the back edge of the rain already towards Eatonton, I expect, generally speaking, rainfall totals by the end of all this, 1 to 3 inches with a few isolated spots. That reduces the risk for flooding and flash flooding. That's some good news with all of this. The flash flood watch remains in effect, but that flooding risk is less, I think, than it would have been otherwise. So here's what we're looking at. Basically, the southern half of this tropical storm is no longer producing rain, but the gusty winds and those heavy rain bands continuing to develop out towards South Carolina will continue over parts of Metro Atlanta and North Georgia as we head through this evening. Looking ahead towards 5 o'clock, winds remain about how they are now, gusting around 50, occasionally a little bit higher. Where you see the pink, those are wind gusts approaching 60 miles an hour. Already had 3 reports of winds over 60. We had 61 at the airport, 61 at the top of Stone Mountain, and 62 mile an hour gusts in Gwinnett County at Berkeley Lake. Winds are going to stay up 45 to 50 miles an hour in gusts through 10 o'clock this evening. And then after midnight, overnight and into the morning hours, it certainly stays breezy all night, but the wind starts to subside and the risk for additional wind damage will come to an end. But over the next several hours, we'll still have additional trees and power lines down, I fear, as those winds will be gusting 50 to 60 miles an hour here for the next few hours.
All right, Brad, thank you for that. And of course, trees are falling and they're causing trouble on local roadways. Again, we repeat it. It's best to just stay home if you can.
Yep. Triple Team Traffic's Ashley Frasca is monitoring those conditions right now. What's going on, Ashley?
Good afternoon, Craig and Wendy. We've been working the phones in the traffic center all afternoon long. The 911 dispatchers can't even keep up with the trees that are quickly coming down around Metro Atlanta. That is the exact problem that happened on the interstate here in Conyers. Conyers police telling us they have shut down both directions, I-20 east and westbound. Westbound traffic being diverted before West Avenue, that's exit 80. So please avoid that part of the East Freeway. If you can, use Old Covington Highway instead. Next, down to Henry County, trees down on 75 south around Hudson Bridge and 75 at Jonesboro Road down in McDonough. A live look at Traffic Tracker 2 now. We take you over to I-20. You can see this tree. Hero units are blocking the exit ramp I-20 westbound onto H.E. Holmes Drive if you're trying to head away from downtown Atlanta towards I-285. In our next traffic report, we will update you on many of the trees blocking roads in Gwinnett County. I'm Ashley Frasca, Channel 2 Action News.
Ashley, thank you. We are working to learn if a teenager will face charges in a deadly crash that killed a Hurricane Irma evacuee in Cherokee County. It happened on Arnold Mill Road in Woodstock on Saturday. Police say the teen hit 2 adults and a 3-month-old child who were crossing the street. The baby later died from injuries. Police say the victims were evacuees from Florida.
Metro Atlanta's Muslim community is opening mosques to give evacuees a place to stay. This is video of the mosque right on 14th Street in Northwest Atlanta. It is one of 15 mosques throughout the metro area, supplying shelter for people who evacuated because of Irma. 5 other mosques are operating as collection and distribution centers. They are collecting a lot of food, clothing, as well as other supplies.
And rescue animals, they are finding temporary shelter from Irma at a warehouse in North Fulton County. The Atlanta Humane Society says state officials asked them to set up this emergency shelter. This is on Market Boulevard in Roswell. Volunteers are ready to help up to 1,000 animals. They're also expecting to take in some dogs and cats from Fulton County's Animal Services Shelter because it often floods during the rain. Now, in North Florida, Irma's floodwaters have risen quickly.
I grew up in Jacksonville. I've been getting a lot of video and pictures from family and friends there, and to see these pictures, it is insane. Part of downtown Jacksonville is underwater, and right now we want to go to Caitlin Channa from our sister station down in Jacksonville, continuing our Severe Weather Team 2 coverage from the Jacksonville Landing.
It's just remarkable to think. So at 1 a.m., my photographer Steve and I actually passed through this area and there was no flooding. And now here we are several hours later after Hurricane Irma has gone through downtown Jacksonville, and you can already see the impacts that are left behind. I mean, it's just absolutely astonishing to see how much standing water is in this area. But one of the things I want to show you, because it just is a glimmer of hope. The sun is trying to peek out of this ominous clouds as they continue to pass by, but it's just nice to know that we are hopefully have some sunshine and hope on the way when it comes to how much disaster has been brought by this storm. Now, the reason why I'm standing kind of behind this shelter and trying to have some type of protection is because the Jacksonville Landing roof continues to flap back and forth, and we've seen pieces of debris fly off. And so just to kind of keep ourselves safe from the projectiles of just how strong this wind is, throwing and thrashing items back and forth, we're trying to use various items and buildings and structures as our safety net to keep ourselves safe. But one of the things is just like the standing water. It's absolutely insane. Once in a while when these wind gusts come through, it's like there's white caps. You're thinking like you're on the St. Johns River, and instead it's really merged with downtown Jacksonville. We are in the Jacksonville Landing area and the Wells Fargo Bank. Actually, take a quick look at this, where it actually says Fargo on the sign. It's swaying back and forth just like the palm trees and the signs. Now, a few minutes ago, we saw another yield sign go down. We've also seen other lamps go down and a few other items in this area just because of the strength and the gust of these winds that we are still experiencing as of right now. Now, one of the things I want my photographer Steve to kind of show you, I think it's really interesting if he can get over there. You can always see like a little bit of like the debris in that area. That's about 2 to 3 feet of water. You can see the fire hydrant that's barely peeking out from the water in that area. Earlier when I was there, it was above my knee. And so using our gauge as of right now, it doesn't look like the landing parking sign is going up anymore. It looks like right now it's kind of plateaued. It's at the same level as we reported last time. But because high tide is approaching, we are assuming that in time that this will actually probably increase before it recedes. And that's one of the great concerns overall for many officials and just people down here. We've seen a lot of like young people and individuals come down here to want to take pictures, video, and share it on their social media accounts. We had one person earlier who was riding his bike. Yes, you heard me right. Trying to ride his bike down this area. I think after he recognized he couldn't get too far with pedaling in this water, he recognized that probably wasn't a good idea. Now, earlier we did see a JEA truck make their way down closer to Bay Street, so hopefully they're going to work on the drains. They're all backed up at this point, and I think right now the big concern is where will the standing water go? How long will it take to be able to clear this area? And those are all questions that we're hoping to be able to get more answers from JEA, also the mayor, and some other city officials.
And live from our tower cam, you can see that it is dark out there. We have heavy wind and rain. Power is out in much of Midtown. Dangerous conditions there. That's next.
It's Landmark's kickoff sales event. Score big with giant Ram Power Days rebates and discounts only the Southeast #1 dealer can do on Ram, Wrangler, Challenger, and Pacifica. Choose from a selection so big it's like shopping 20 football fields and receive trade dollars the competition won't give. Plus, we'll tackle any credit problem you have so you can go home a winner. Huddle up now at landmarkautomotive.com because
nobody beats Landmark. Nobody.
Always the best deal, always.
After reflecting on our back-to-school shoe needs, the Gonzalez family is going with Academy.
Why Academy over the other store?
I can afford to get all three of my kids the name brands they want, like Nike and Adidas at Academy.
Was convenience a factor?
Come on, I'm a mom. And at Academy, I'm not waiting on some teenager to get sizes I already know I need. I just grab them myself and I go.
Mom, what's for dinner tonight?
No idea, your dad's cooking.
Start your season with the best brands at the lowest prices guaranteed. Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Fourth down. That's it. Time to punt.
I mean, if it were me, I'd go for it.
Right. The day that I win this will be the day that pigs...
Okay. We got a smart one over here. These are beef, right? Wait. Seriously?
Just kidding.
This guy. I was scared for a minute.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Play the Atlanta Falcons scratcher from the Georgia Lottery.
If you need a new mattress and you need it fast, Rooms To Go has a great selection. Like this set starting at just $299. Or how about this set for $399? Check out great brands like these for $499. Or these cozy mattress sets for $599. Here's what $699 buys: $799, $899, and $999. The fact is, Rooms To Go has your perfect mattress set at your perfect price, and you can get it tomorrow. See our complete selection now at Rooms To Go.
Here at Aikens Ford, we have the best prices on new 2017 Ford SUVs. Right now, take $8,000 off MSRP on new 2017 Ford Explorers, Edges, and Escapes. Visit us 24/7 at AikensFord.com.
Our homemade ice cream recipe calls for just a handful of natural ingredients, like extra cream, because at Turkey Hill, simple is best. All natural ice cream from Turkey Hill. Extra simple, extra good.
All right, a live view from our high-definition camera, and there are power outages in Midtown Atlanta. Right now, we're hearing about transformers blowing up and power lines on fire, and this is really causing dangerous conditions.
Our live severe weather Team 2 coverage continues with Channel 2's Aaron Diamond live in Midtown Atlanta. Aaron?
Wendy, we've got a very dangerous situation brewing actually in Midtown. I'm right at the corner of Peachtree and Ivan Allen Boulevard. And look, I want to show you something. See that traffic light right there? That is 90 degrees the wrong direction. It is actually supposed to be stopping traffic coming down Peachtree. And it can quickly get confusing. Look, over on this side, the one that's supposed to be stopping traffic on Peachtree is blown over facing Ralph McGill Boulevard. The bottom line, a lot of very dangerous situations out here on the roads. If you don't have to be out here, please don't be. We're live in Midtown. Aaron Diamond, Channel 2 Action News.
All right, Aaron, thank you, and thank you for joining us for this special extended live severe weather Team 2 coverage as Irma moves right into our area.
This is a live look outside at the rain and wind. Power is out, trees are down, some spots are flooded. We're back in just 90 seconds with coverage from North Georgia to the coast.